Thanks again for joining us on Season 2 of Depression Baby. Don't forget you can get the entire audiobook of Depression Baby for free, along with a free month of Audible, the world's premier audiobook service, at raybrodgers.com/audible. Depression Baby. Stories about growing up in Appalachia and other things, too. With my dad, Ray B. Rogers.
On August 16th, 1929, I came into this world kicking and screaming. I reckon that made me a depression baby.
Depression Baby is a World Songs media production, brought to you by Depression Baby the book, available in Kindle, paperback, hardcover, and now audiobook at raybrodgers.com.
The Lazy Girl. Reuben Eldridge Medford came home from the Great War between the states in May 1865, having been a prisoner of war at Camp Douglas, Illinois. Eldridge said his general had sold out to the Yankees, and his company had been ordered to surrender and stack arms. General Fraser went to Boston afterwards, perhaps knowing that if he stayed in the Southland, his life would not be worth a Confederate dollar. Eldridge threw his gun down the mountain as far as he could and did not stack his arm as instructed. He said that he did not plumb surrender. He was a proud and independent mountaineer. Captain Asbury Thornton Rogers had also been imprisoned after the Confederate surrender at Cumberland Gap, September 9, 1863. He spent his time in the Louisville military prison at Johnson Island until June 12, 1865. Asbury had a daughter named Mary Ann. Eldridge chose her to be his bride, and they were married in 1866. They moved into a log cabin, which is still standing, down the ridge from the house once owned by my great-uncle Robert French Rogers, who was the son of Asbury. My great-grandfather Eldridge was a religious man, never saying a curse word stronger than darn. Els belonged to the Southern Methodist Church, and it has been said every time the church doors opened, he would be there. He always voted a straight Democrat ticket. All of this having been said, Els had a lazy girl on the premises. Strange as it may seem, Mary Ann approved of the lazy girl and even found her to be quite helpful while raising their two small children at this location. Mary Ann Rogers Medford and Eldridge had 8 children together, in spite of this lazy girl having been present early in their marriage. After Mary Ann passed away, Eldridge married Mary Ann Russell, and they had a second family, including 6 additional children. It is a wise man indeed who chooses his second wife with the same name as his first wife. In those days, houses had to be located near a water source such as a spring, or a well had to be dug. There were no water systems to hook up to out in rural America. However, these pioneers were very inventive in building devices to make their lives a little easier. Eldridge had a problem. The spring nearest his cabin was down a steep slope. This hillside would have been very difficult to climb, carrying a bucket or two of water, even if it was not soggy, wet, or covered with ice or snow. My great-grandfather could build just about anything, from a fine piece of walnut furniture, a loom, a cupboard, or even a chimney. He built the chimneys at the Lorena Davis Rogers house. While in prison during the war, he constructed a little satchel made of oak wood with brass trim and even a lock, in which to carry his meager belongings. Eldridge constructed a rope and pulley device to fetch water from a spring to his and Marianne's cabin. Yep, you guessed it. This clever device is called a lazy girl. Well, I reckon you can now see how Marianne would tolerate having a lazy girl on the premises.
We hope you enjoyed listening to this episode of Depression Baby. And if you did, my dad has one important request. If this podcast brought a little smile to your day, would you please consider right now subscribing for free to the podcast and kindly leaving a nice 5-star rating and review on iTunes. You can make the difference in getting Depression Baby in front of a wider audience and help preserve this disappearing legacy. Also, you can get the entire audiobook of Depression Baby, the complete stories, for free at raybyrogers.com/audible. That's AUDIBLE. Thanks to our audio and musical contributors, including our friend Lobo Loco. You can find out more about him and all the rest of the music and audio in the show notes at, you guessed it, raybyrogers.com. Thank you for listening, and we'll see you next time on Depression Baby.